stepped into my life, such a magic feeling when you tore down my walls. I wish I could go back to right before you told me I'd try to change it all. But look at us now, we could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are. And I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again, again, again. Strangers again, again, again. We're like strangers again, again, again. I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again. Again, I thought we'd never fall. Could have tried much harder. Now all we have are scars. You said we'd get so high, higher up than heaven. You said we'd reach the stars. But look at us now, could have gone so far. It hurts to realize we're parted. Yeah, look at us now, this is who we are. And I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again, again, again. Strangers again, again, again. Better get started. It's time to get my head up again. You said that you had to. I'll try to forget you. Just didn't think we'd end up this way, like strangers again. Strangers again. Like strangers again.
For so long, I've been trying to get you out of my head. Oh yeah, but somehow I always seem to wake up in your bed. Baby, if we talk for a minute, then maybe we'd be getting somewhere. I just wanna love you a little to see where this is going. I really need to know, babe. Can we just open up? Cause I got to know if you feel the things I do. I might need some help if you let me go. Cause I'm flying through the sky and I'm sitting a little high on you. Thinking that we're more than just friends. Oh yeah. Oh, but maybe your heart is falling for someone else. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Maybe we should talk for a minute. Then maybe we'd be getting somewhere. I just wanna love you a little to see where this is going. I really need to know, babe. Can we just open up? Cause I got to know if you feel the things I do. I might need some help if you I think that we need a guiding light. Right now we're running around in circles, but if you don't even wanna try, I need to know it. Can we just open